Welcome to the Western Association for College Admission Counseling College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event tonight. I'm Jennifer, your facilitator. I've got a few housekeeping announcements before we get started, and we are just so excited you're going to learn about 6 fantastic schools that are here with us tonight. Each of them have 6 minutes to share a sneak peek and some insight into their institution, but they will be around for the entire session to answer questions. Your camera and microphone are off though, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use that Q&A button on your screen to type your questions at any time. You can leave a question for any and all of our schools to answer, or you can direct it to a specific school by including the school's name with your question. This is just one of many different sessions that are happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website. It is not too late to sign up and join us for the next round to come. This presentation and all of the presentations during tonight's programming are being recorded. They'll be available in the coming days at the same website where you register, strivescan.com/WACAC. All right, well, I'm really excited to get started tonight and introduce our first school. We will all be learning about Worcester Polytechnic Institute.
Thank you, Jennifer, for that handoff. My name is Taylor Patterson. I am the Assistant Director of Admission at WPI. I am a regionally based counselor. I live down in Long Beach. I say I'm down in Long Beach because I'm currently up in San Jose. I'll also share my contact information in the chat, so no need to type that down very quickly. First and foremost, WPI is located in Worcester, and it is a college town because there are 10 area colleges in Worcester area. Worcester is the second largest city in New England after Boston. So I always like to tell students to get to WPI. Boston Logan is going to be the best airport, as you're going to be able to find direct flights. But if you do want to have a layover in New York City, there is an opportunity for you to fly from NYC directly into Worcester Airport, and that airport is about 3 miles from campus. Just to give you an idea of the setup, you can see campus in the middle of that page, bumps up into Institute Park. You can know that Institute Park is named after all the institutions in the Worcester area, and then WPI is located in the more residential part of the city. It's about 3/4 of a mile from downtown Worcester, where we have the bus as well as a train station. There also is a baseball stadium in Worcester, which is really fun. It's actually the feeder team for the Boston Red Sox. So you get to see some up and coming players, or maybe some players that are on the DL list and getting bumped down. Jumping into the academic side, a very quick overview of WPI's academic programs. We have over 50 degree programs. 12 are going to be in engineering. That will probably be the most popular area of study that I talk about and probably get asked about, but also in the sciences, computer science, and even the humanities and arts. While we are categorized as a STEM institution, we do really prioritize that well-rounded educational field because we know that students have more interests than just STEM itself. Students can also enroll undecided. We have about 20% of students doing that, and then they just need to decide what academic major that they want to study around the end of their second year. That retention rate is high. We put a lot of effort into our orientation programs, from just tours of campus before classes actually begin, but also having a peer advisor, an adult that they are in contact with that may be a faculty member or staff member, and then also an academic advisor too. That 13-to-1 student faculty ratio just showcases how interactive our faculty is with students. You can very often find students chatting after class in the hallways, grabbing coffee at both the Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts on campus. My last note on this page is going to be that we do have master's degrees available for students, and it can be involved and included in a student's undergraduate degree. Great example is a student named Henry. I do many virtual information sessions with him. He's an international student from Argentina, came to WPI, wanted to study mechanical engineering, and is graduating with his bachelor's and his master's in mechanical engineering all in 4 years. Jump into another specific part of what we call the WPI plan is our project-based learning. These are the 4 projects that happen once in a student's career The Great Problem Seminar is going to be optional, but the Humanities and Arts, IQP, and MQP are required. So we have embedded project-based learning into our curriculum. I've talked a little bit about the Humanities and Arts. You get complete choice of what Humanities and Arts classes that you want to complete. If you really love English and Taylor Swift, you can take an English class and your project can be a 13-page paper about Taylor Swift. A student on campus named Michaela actually did that for her humanities and arts requirement. But if you want to study a language, you're passionate about theater, this is really where you get ownership. Because we have no prerequisite courses across any academic program, students can jump in and really choose and have ownership about the curriculum. The IQP, that interdisciplinary qualifying project, is done a student's junior year. This is where students have the opportunity, and about 88% of them go outside of the state of Massachusetts. We have over 50 project centers across the entire world. Students then come back for their senior year and are completing a senior research project related to their specific major. This is giving students hands-on learning experiences. They get to talk about, tell me about a time, they get to answer the question, tell me about a time you've worked on a project, and it may be working on microplastics in Southern Australia. It may be studying the Arctic lupine, which is a native plant in Iceland. You may be creating a STEM curriculum in Southern Africa. So you really have a true array of choices to make for any of those projects. I usually include a great map that has all of those listed. Between those orientation programs, between the areas of study that we have, and with those projects, these outcomes are very telling. That average starting salary is going to be above the national average. We have so many companies come to our career fairs. We have one main one in the fall semester, one main one in the spring semester, and then companies are always there recruiting for internships, co-ops, and then research too. Next, going into our application details, the requirements are going to be listed on that right-hand side. We are a Common App school. This is a great plug that February 1st is going to be our regular decision deadline if I have any seniors on the call. And then we need a high school transcript sent directly from a student's counselor. And then we need 2 letters of recommendation. We are test free, and then there's no application. Last but not least, I just want to explain that we utilize holistic review, and then our summer programs all of these applications are open for students that want to get a jump start about learning more about WPI, and then as well as their college search. So I'm going to pass the baton back to Jennifer for our next presenter. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Taylor, for starting us off tonight and sharing about WPI. We're on to school number 2 for this evening. We're going to be learning all about Southern Oregon University.
Hello, everybody. Let me figure out my screen share here. All right, you should be seeing a picture of our campus now. As you can see from our picture, we're located in a really pretty environment. It's like a big nature park, lots of trees and hills and mountains around us. It's a really beautiful campus. We're going to delve a little bit more into that as I move through our presentation here. First off, to give you an idea of exactly where we're located, we're in Ashland, Oregon, which is essentially on the California border. We're about 10 miles north of the California border, and we're right on the 5 freeway. So if you head north in California on the 5 freeway, we're actually the first exit when you get into Oregon. We also are about 20 minutes away from the town of Medford, and Medford has an airport. So if you live near any one of the cities you see on this map, there are direct flights into Medford on all your major airline carriers. If you're in another town that has an airport, usually it takes 2 flights to get to Medford, either connecting through places like Portland, Seattle, or Salt Lake most commonly. And then again, campus is only about 20 minutes from that airport in Medford. Ashland is a small town, about 25,000 full-time residents, but we do get nearly 500,000 visitors and tourists per year because of our Oregon Shakespeare Festival, other arts programs, and the outdoors. So it's a small town, but the economy is focused on entertainment, which makes it a fun place to live because there's always a lot of fun things to do. We're also in what's called the Rogue Valley. We're essentially a suburb of Medford, and the Rogue Valley is the 4th largest metro area in the state of Oregon with over 200,000 people. So you're never more than 20-25 minutes away from, not to mention the airport, but your large box stores, shopping malls, all types of your chain restaurants and that sort of thing. So it's kind of like a small town feel, but all your big city amenities are close by as well. In addition, another thing is we are far enough south, we don't have your typical northwest weather. We get about half the amount of rain as Portland and Seattle, so it's a lot drier where we're located in Ashland. We also get a lot more sunshine. Throughout the year, you can see our wintertime high on the average is low 80s, or our summertime high is low 80s, our wintertime high is around 50. Today, it was over 60 degrees. It's been over 60 degrees for the last few days, just to let you know. We did get about 2 inches of snow about 3 weeks ago. It shut down the campus for 2 days. So all of our students had 2 snow days, which is pretty cool. But we don't get snow on the ground very often where we're located. But you can see right behind campus here, we do have Mount Ashland, which is a ski resort, which is about 25 minutes away from campus. So if you are into snow activities, snowboarding or skiing, you don't have to live in the snow, but those things are close by in the winter for sure. All right, we are a public 4-year university. So similar to the UC and Cal State schools in California, we're basically part of Oregon's system, Oregon's version of that system. We have around 5,000 students total with a 20-to-1 student to faculty ratio and an average class size of 21. So most of your classes are going to be pretty small, and every class is taught by an actual faculty member, so you get to know your faculty really, really well. Average GPA of our admitted students is a 3.4. Our minimum GPA is a 2.5. I'll mention our 40 majors on the next slide, and I'll talk about our residence halls in a minute as well. We have 13 men's and women's varsity sports, which compete in NAIA. We do have athletic scholarships available. And we have over 100 different clubs and organizations for students to take part in as well. So here are those majors I was talking about. Our largest majors are things like business, psychology, and communications. Those are typically your largest majors at most schools. We have a really well-regarded theater program, again, because of our proximity to the Oregon Shakespeare Festival. But some really cool programs, I think, on campus are things like environmental science, outdoor adventure leadership, also chemistry. We do a great job of getting students into medical school who go through our chemistry program. And one unique thing is if you see these majors with a red or a blue dot behind it, you can actually earn your degree in 3 years instead of 4. We don't make you go to summer school or make you take extra credits every term, but by finishing a year early, you save 25% off the cost of your bachelor's degree and are able to start getting a job and earning money earlier. As I mentioned, our student life is very traditional. We have over 80 clubs and organizations, leadership groups on campus, and different student organizations like Black Student Union, Latino Student Union, Asian Pacific Islander Student Union. And we also have a Social Justice and Equity Center for diversity-based groups for people to get involved with if they are interested. We have 3 different residence halls on campus. Those 2 you see in the upper left-hand corner are where most first-year students will live. There are also upperclassmen living there as well. Rooms are pretty big. There's partial divider walls between sleeping spaces for privacy. And they come with high-speed internet, wireless internet, and also streaming services. We also have a new recreation center with lots of workout facilities, climbing wall. There's a indoor track for running and walking, and also multi-purpose courts, as well as an esports lounge. If you're into gaming, we have a really cool esports lounge in there. We do not charge out-of-state tuition for students from the 14 Western states. Students are automatically assessed the WUI tuition rate if you're from one of these states. So there's the WUI tuition rate there. And if you have above a 2.85 GPA, you'll get between a $1,000 and $4,000 merit scholarship. And if you're from one of the northernmost counties, you can actually attend Southern Oregon at the Oregon resident tuition rate. So big savings are available. There's my contact information. I will put it in the chat here in a minute. And thank you very much for your time.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ian, for presenting on Southern Oregon University. Welcome. I know we had a few more people join us. We're so glad you're here tonight. Just a quick reminder that while our schools, all representatives are presenting, you can use the Q&A button on your screen to ask questions at any time. So we hope that you'll add some questions in there for our representatives to answer and share a little more insight into each of their institutions. All right, we're moving on to our next school. We are going to learn all about Westminster University.
Hello, everybody. Let me share my screen here real quick. All right, fantastic. I hope you all can hear me well. My name is Miguel. I'm with Westminster University, And we're just going to talk a little bit about our school. Westminster University is in Salt Lake City, Utah. It's in the east bench of Salt Lake City. We're very close to ski resorts and snowboarding areas. So it's very popular for those of you who are into that kind of thing. You can definitely have access to, you're about 30-minute drive from great skiing areas and also to hiking trails. We also have, we're located in Sugar House in a neighborhood that is called Sugar House. It's very popular here in Salt Lake City, very safe. You have great access to a lot of different things in the neighborhood itself, not only stuff that's on our campus, you can actually branch out and explore. One of the great things about being so close to those kinds of things is we also have free transportation that's included with your student ID once you become a student. So you can actually use that to travel around the city, or if you want to go a little bit more outside of that, you can definitely have access to our track system. I don't know if some of you might know that Utah has its own little train system that you can use. It's all through our UTA bus services. And again, that's all accessible through your student ID. You don't have to pay once you have that available. So that's something great about our school and how readily accessible it is. We are a private institution. That means we're not government funded, which gives us the ability to do our classes a little bit different. And I'll talk about that more in a minute. We are an independent institution. That just means we're not religiously affiliated, and we are a liberal arts institution. So we try to approach education a little bit different through real world scenarios to teach different things. And I'll talk about that in a minute as well. Here are some of our majors. We definitely have a little bit for everybody. Business is a big one that we have available. Our literal media and writing, as well as our customized major has become a very popular thing nowadays. That means that you can take maybe 2 different subjects and you can combine them into a major. So that's something that we also like to know that students have the ability to do, because we know that everybody has multiple interests at times, and we want to make sure that you get a good experience when you attend our institution. So just keep that in mind as you're looking at the institutions that you want to attend, because you want to make sure that it's something that best fits you and what you're looking for. One thing that we like about our classes is that we usually require less general education than most institutions. And the way we do that is because we try to combine things when we do our classes. So I'll give you an example. We have this class, I just noted it down there as an example, a class called The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's an econ class, or economics for those of you who don't know. And you will go through, and it says right there, 18th century Babylon to present day Utah to better understand 2 millennia of commerce, currency, chaos, control, and the choice in a world of uncertainty. So you're gonna learn about economic systems through a history perspective. So you get to learn about economics and how that changes throughout time. So that's how we were able to incorporate different subjects into one class for students to be able to get those 6 grade hours done and be done in less than an amount of time that it would take somewhere else, where sometimes those classes might be 9 or more. You can see those emphases, they're writing, diversity, and research. And we do have something called May term. Usually this is done at the end of the spring semester. So it starts around May, goes into a little bit, maybe 1st or 2nd week of June, where you can do a study abroad, or you can stay in state. You don't have to necessarily go abroad to this credit. We have one where you actually interact with native nations and learn about their culture, their history, culinary history as well. So you don't necessarily have to travel to get this credit under your belt. So just keep that in mind as you make your choices of the institutions that you go to. We do have co-curricular activities. We have first generation scholars and McNair scholars. So for first generation students, this is something that you might want to look into. And the way that we defined first generation is if your parent or guardian did not get if they didn't get their degree in the United States, you are considered a first generation student. McNair scholars, that's something that goes through our honors college that you can look into. And both of these programs do have some incentives and money incentives to help you pay for either your tuition or maybe books and things that you may need as well. Okay, one thing that is very important to note about us is that we do require a 2-year on-campus living requirement. So obviously, for those who are going to stay, that's going to be a no-brainer. this because if you decide to leave off campus after 2 years, you can definitely do that. But because we are located in a very popular neighborhood, we feel like our rent, it's a lot more friendlier than going outside of the institution and getting your own apartment. The first year you will have a roommate, but then by your second year, you get to live in our on-campus apartments. So you'll have your own room, you'll have a roommate, but they will have their own room. And then you have your common areas like your dining room, your kitchens and things like that, okay? Something that we pride ourselves a lot about is how we have our scholarships. Once you apply for Westminster, you will have access to scholarships right away for $15,000 to $32,000. And also you have need-based grants and talent-based programs through your financial aid, as you're all probably familiar with. And we do have talent-based scholarships through athletics and performing arts as well. So automatically, I just want to emphasize that once you're admitted, you can get a scholarship between $15,000 to $32,000.
Wonderful. Thank you, Miguel, for sharing all about Westminster. Just want to make sure attendees also know to double check the chat tonight. All of our representatives are going to drop their contact information or follow-up information for tonight so that you can get in touch with them after today. All right, we're going to be moving on to our next institution. We'll be learning all about the Oregon Institute of Technology.
Hello and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tyler Siegler. I am with Oregon Institute of Technology using he, him pronouns. We just refer to ourselves as Oregon Tech in part because Oregon Institute of Technology is a mouthful. We are Oregon's only polytechnic institution, similar to Southern Oregon, our neighbor over there. We are outside of that Portland metro area that everyone knows of with Oregon. We are about—
Hey, Tyler? I'm sorry to interrupt, but are you going to be sharing your screen? Because we are not seeing anything, so I wanted to double check before you got too far into it. I wanted to give it a minute just in case, but... Oh, good. Now we're getting there.
Is it showing now?
It's showing now, yes. It's, but I'm not sure if it's at the beginning or the second slide. It's on the page about Klamath Falls.
Okay.
If that helps.
First side was just a picture of campus, so we're good.
Okay, great.
We are South Central Oregon, about an hour east of Medford. That's actually the airport that we recommend folks fly into if they are coming to Klamath Falls, the city that we're located in. We're a city of about 40,000 people or so. Again, not that traditional part of Oregon. We get very, very little rain and more days of sun than Miami, Florida. We do get about 36 inches of snow each and every year, but we do not get 36 inches of snow all at the exact same time. So if snow is new to you, it'll snow a couple of inches, melt, the sun comes out, the whole process starts all over again. We are a very outdoor-oriented community. If you were standing in the middle of campus, to the left would be the city, to the right would be hiking and mountains, and right in front of you would be Klamath Lake, the largest lake in Oregon. We are a relatively small university, just less than 5,000 students, with about 3,000 of those on our main campus in Klamath Falls. A little more than a quarter of our students come from outside the state of Oregon. No surprise, a huge chunk of those do come from California, though I know we may have non-Californians joining us as well. We offer about 40 different majors or so. As a Polytechnic university, we are considered a STEM-H school: science, technology, engineering, math, and healthcare. That's our bread and butter right there, though we do.
Hey, Tyler, I'm sorry to come in, but the screens aren't advancing. Sorry about this. I just was keeping an eye on that for you.
We're just having a great time today.
I think everyone knows Zoom. We can start fresh on that screen. Sorry to interrupt. I'm so sorry. I just want to make sure you're able to share your information in the way you'd like to. Okay. And don't worry, pause the clock too, because that happened. We all know with Zoom life.
Can you see the Engage in Campus life?
No. Maybe try to see if you can go widescreen and maybe that'll help advance. It seems to be stuck on the Klamath Falls screen.
What slide are you seeing now? Are you seeing any slides?
No, I'm not.
Okay, you know what? We're just going to talk because I'm not sure what's going on with this, but my apologies. able to see the campus in my pictures because we have a really beautiful campus. You'll just have to take my word for it. Very active, very outdoor-oriented community, more than 40 different clubs and organizations, our Honors College Division II athletics, outdoor programs, diversity offices. You're definitely going to find the community that is of most interest to you. As I was mentioning earlier, for our majors, the science, technology, engineering, math, and healthcare are bread and butter. For engineering programs, we have everything from civil engineering to mechanical to our renewable energy engineering major, which was the very first major of its kind in the country. Actually, about 80% of our energy used on campus is renewable, created on campus. The health sciences, another huge program for us, our pre-med options, including pre-dental, pre-pharmacy, pre-veterinary sciences, our nursing and medical imaging technology programs, our dental hygiene program, and everything from sonography, radiological sciences, and nuclear medicine. We do still have a number of other options, though, for students, including our business degrees, including some that are STEM adjacent, including our healthcare management program, cybersecurity, and our applied psychology major. Our admissions requirements are relatively straightforward. No essays, no letters of recommendation, and test score optional. Test scores can help you, but they will never hurt you. If you have your 14 core subject requirement, so 4 years of English, 3 years of math, 3 years of a lab science, 2 years of social studies, 1 year of career and technical education or fine art, and 1 academic elective with at least a 3.0 GPA, congratulations, you've been admitted to Oregon Tech. We will still consider you for admission if you are missing one of those requirements or have a below a 3.0, but still above a 2.5. That being said, our average incoming freshman does have a 3.56 unweighted core GPA. All but 3 of our majors are eligible for the Western Undergraduate Exchange or WUI tuition rate, which is where you pay 150% of the in-state tuition rate, cutting your tuition almost in half. Your base tuition rate plus fees will be a little over $17,000 per year. On top of that, if you have at least a 3.26 GPA, you'll receive our presidential scholarship, which is an additional $2,000, $3,000, or $4,000 per year, and that can be stacked on top of your WUI tuition discount, taking your base tuition and fees rate to as little as $13,000 per year. Again, my apologies that I couldn't share any pictures with you. I will add my contact information in the chat so that you can reach out to me, and I'm happy to share photos through email. But otherwise, thank you all so much, and I will pass the baton.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Tyler, for being a total pro and still sharing so much to draw everyone in to check out Oregon Tech. All right, our next school will be University of the Pacific.
Hi, folks. My name is Raymond Weber. I'm with the Office of Admission at University of the Pacific. Those that don't know, Pacific is California's first and oldest university, founded all the way back in the 1800s. We are very lucky to have a 3-campus ecosystem. I will have you know our Stockton campus is the campus that offers all of our undergraduate programs. We do have some graduate programs on the Stockton campus over in Sacramento and San Francisco. Each of the campuses are only about an hour from each other. One of the first things that you should know about University of the Pacific, it absolutely offers a classic college vibe. This is not a stock image in front of you. This is Knowles Hall, which you could actually see in a Disney movie called Flubber, starring Robin Williams. Because of the classic college vibe, quite a few movies have been filmed on our campus, including Indiana Jones. So as you're walking around campus, you're going to see a lot of this collegiate brick architecture, which is not common in California. And it's just a really, really majestic place to be. I personally moved here from New York around 2 years ago, and the setting of the campus drew me there, as well as the tight-knit sense of community. There's only around 3,000 undergraduate students on campus, so your average class size will only be around 24. That means that at Pacific, you will know your professor, and whether or not you like it, your professor is going to know you, which might be intimidating at first, but this is going to lead to exciting internship opportunities, experiential learning opportunities. We want to expose you to your professional setting as soon as possible, because that's going to help you make a better educated decision, right? So if you're going into the sciences, you will be in a laboratory. If you're going into media X and film studies, you might be in a classroom like this, right? Learning about virtual virtual reality and animation. So I believe 70% of our students are currently enrolled in an experiential learning course, right? The heavy majority of our students learn by doing and then reflecting upon that experience. I love to touch upon the fact that we were recently ranked one of the top 10 institutions globally for sustainable dining practices. We have a farm to fork program on campus that ensures 90% of the produce used in the cafeterias is sourced within 150-mile radius of the institution. So we're eating local, we're eating fresh, we're also supporting local farmers, which the Central Valley is filled with. We even have a garden on campus, which was donated by the previous CEOs of Whole Foods. Also wonderful partnership with Tesla, right? They are definitely a helper in helping us instill all of these solar arrays that you see in front of you. We now rank #1 among private institutions in on-campus renewable energy, which we are super, super proud of. And here are some more stats that we're particularly proud of. Wall Street Journal did recently rank us top 10 100 best universities in the nation. We also just recently reinstalled our 4-year graduation guarantee. That means that our students are graduating on time and they are entering the workforce sooner rather than later to make that impact into their communities, right? But in essence, right, small class size, experiential learning, that personalized advice, that's what's going to launch our students to success. Georgetown also ranks us top 2% in the nation for alumni earnings. That same study ranks us #2 in the state of California for alumni earnings. And Georgetown also ranks University of the Pacific as #1 in the nation for career earnings for low-income students, which really holds a special place in my heart as a first-generation low-income college student myself. To the right-hand side of your screen are just some of the companies that our students are working with in their internships and their co-op experience. Again, that's going to help them get employed post-graduation. Now, what is there to study at University of the Pacific? We have many, many different majors, right? We are a comprehensive university, undergraduate, all the way up to doctoral degrees. Some popular undergraduate majors definitely include business. Our School of Business just ranked the #1 small business school in the West. Pre-dentistry and pre-pharmacy are very popular at Pacific, in part because we have advantage programs where our students are graduating with their bachelor and their doctoral degree in as few as 5 years. Yes, it's very scary to think that you can graduate from high school and be a dentist 5 years later, but our program sets our students up for success in that way. Many, many majors here. Also want to highlight engineering. We do have a co-op program, so our students are working 6 to 9 months with some big engineering companies. Our students are making close to $4,000 a month in that co-op experience. Also, wonderful support services around campus. We do have that personalized academic advising. We have tons of tutoring. We now are assigning care managers to our students. Our students are taking advantage of psychological and counseling services more than ever. We also have services for students with disabilities that might need accommodations in or out of the classroom. Ranked as one of the most diverse schools in the nation, I think we're tied with Berkeley and USC when it comes to ethnic diversity. I think that our values of DEI really shine through our support services. Right? The Center for Identity Inclusion that encompasses a Latinx student group, an Indigenous student group, LGBTQ student group, the list goes on, right? But just a center on campus for students to learn more about their identity or find other students with that shared identity. Success Trio, right? Specific to first-generation college students like myself. You could stop by any of these offices and they would be more than happy to assist you. We do have a residential requirement of 2 years on campus, which we have a 4-year housing guarantee at Pacific. So we're definitely going to have housing for you. We even have some optional housing communities, gender inclusive housing, religious accommodation housing, and there's just a lot to do around campus. There's 200 clubs and organizations. We have a cappella groups, Greek life. We are Division I athletics. I will have you know we have one of the top water polo teams in the nation. Here's some action shots for our superstar athletes. I want to go ahead, just give you a quick shot of our deadlines. January 15th, if I have any seniors here, we did extend our deadline to February 15th, so you have a few weeks left. If y'all have any questions, feel free to follow us on social media and contact me directly. Bye, folks.
Great. Thank you so much, Raymond, for sharing University of the Pacific. We're on to our 6th school of this 6x6 with St. Mary's College of California.
Hi, folks. Thank you so much for having me. So my name is Justin, and I am the admissions counselor from St. Mary's College of California. Here is sort of a picture of what campus looks like. We are nestled sort of in the hills of the East Bay. So we're in the Bay Area, Sorry, we're about, so we're in a town called Moraga, California. So we're about 20 minutes away from east from Berkeley and about 45 minutes east of San Francisco. And we do have a very close-knit community, very community driven. We have about 2,100 undergraduate students, 900 graduate students. We are a Catholic Lasallian liberal arts college, which I'll go into. So Catholic Lasallian basically means that we're education for all, basically, and wanting to make sure that we make education accessible for all students and making sure that they are succeeding in the ways that they want to after their 4 years at St. Mary's. Liberal arts, of course. You're not necessarily just going to be taking classes that are in your major, but you're going to be taking a wide variety of classes. So you're leaving the best version of yourself and a very flexible young professional when you step out into the job world, just because that's what companies are looking for. Since we're located close to, close to Silicon Valley, close to San Francisco, there's a lot of great internship opportunities as well. We are a Division I sports school, and we offer club and intramural sports as well. We are a pretty diverse campus. What I like to share and what we're really proud of is we're a Hispanic serving institution, meaning that we have over 25% of our students are of Latinx descent, but 58% of our freshman class is BIPOC or a person of color, and about 35% of our students are a first-generation students, so the first one in their immediate family to go to college, and then about 54% of our students are non-Catholic. So if that's not part of your identity, that's something that we do not force upon you at all. But if it is, then you're more than welcome to celebrate it on campus as well. We have mass daily. That is optional. And I already touched on liberal arts, but obviously, the big things we're going to be wanting to cultivate is critical thinking, problem solving, and communication skills. These are going to be vital for any job that you want to go into. And St. Mary's does a great job at preparing you for that. Whatever major you're looking to go into, you're going to be taking classes that are going to be working on these skills. So when you do leave school, you're ready to go in the workforce. And a lot of big companies like to hire out of St. Mary's as well. We have career events going on throughout the year. So you're able to kind of talk with those big organizations as well. Moving through, since we are on the smaller side, your average class size is going to be about 19 students and a student to faculty ratio of about 10 to 1. So, I mean, what that means is that it's a very personalized experience. I went to St. Mary's and I was a pretty shy kid in classes. I usually kind of like melt into the background, do my work. But at St. Mary's, I was given, empowerment to, raise my hand, have conversations with my professor, meet with them outside of class. And I think that relationship that you're able to build with them is vital to making sure that you succeed as a student and that you're ready to go and advocate for yourself when you're in the workforce. So you're not just going to be a number when you're sitting in on any of the classes. You're definitely going to be in the thick of it, wanting to, a lot of hands-on learning and wanting to make sure that you're getting the most out of your education as well. We don't have any impacted programs. We have over 70 majors, minors, and specialty programs. Some of the more popular ones are going to be kinesiology, so study of the body from a nutritional point of view. Our business school is very well renowned as well. And in the STEM fields, definitely biology and chemistry are very popular. Psychology is another big one as well. We have 5 different concentrations in that. And some of the fun ones that are in the liberal arts degree are justice, community, and leadership, as well as some global regional studies as well and communications. So a lot of different options that you can kind of explore your passions. Very easy to major and minor, double major. We make it very, very accessible to do that. You'll be working with faculty advisors as well to make sure that you're getting out in 4 years and getting what you want out of St. Mary's as well. And I did touch on this earlier, but we are a Division I school. So we have 18 Division I athletics. We're most well known for our basketball team, both men's and women's. We do compete at the national level when we do go to the big March Madness tournament. And so we do pretty well there. And our big rivals are definitely Gonzaga when you're thinking about the WCC. So a lot of what I want to kind of share is that you get a big school feel on sort of a smaller campus, which I really liked. On a Friday night, you can go with a group of friends, go support the basketball game, go support the basketball team, and kind of have that sort of school spirit sort of integrated in with the community, and get that sort of big school feel to the small school. And then I will also touch on tuition and expenses. So we are a private institution. So with sticker price is going to be about $72,534, which is crazy expensive, but less than 10% of students actually end up paying that amount. And the average financial aid package that students are bringing in is about $42,000. And we try to make it possible and help out with merit-based scholarships. So depending on what your GPA is, you can earn up to $29,000 per year, all 4 years. And then also with you can, if you go to a LaSallian high school, you have an SMC Alumni Legacy Scholarship as well, there's ways to augment that as well. And so here's just a list of my team. I have my contact information on the screen, but I'll also add that in the chat. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Justin, for sharing about St. Mary's College of California. Okay, we only have a couple minutes left, but I really want to get a live Q&A question in. So if I could have all the representatives come back on camera. I'm going to pose a question, and we are going to start with our first school and go in the same order that you presented. So we'll start with Taylor and then work our way to Justin. When the representative ahead of you answers the question, just feel free to unmic and answer away. So what from each of you is your best quick top tip of or piece of advice for someone going through this college search process? Taylor?
Well, that's a great question. It's such a loaded question to answer quickly too. I would encourage students to just really keep an open mind. This is something that is a true decision for a student to make. You are the one going to this school, and wherever part of the country or ever part of the world that it is, you are the one going and studying those courses that you applied for and really getting involved in the community. So what is it about the community that you want to be part of next after you're graduating from high school?
Great advice there, Taylor, to keep the open mind. I'm going to give you an answer you're probably not going to like to the students, and that is check your email, please. We all communicate with you via email, and on the other side of that, once you've decided that maybe you don't want to go to Southern Oregon University, feel free to break up with us. No hard feelings. Unsubscribe. Let us know you're not interested. We're going to wish you well. And we're going to thank you because it's going to save us all the time and effort from keeping on reaching out to you and calling you. But yeah, don't feel bad about breaking up with us if you need to.
Funny enough, I almost had the same answer as Taylor, but I'm going to add to that. Be inquisitive, ask all the questions. That's what institutions are for. So make sure that every question that you have, make sure you ask, because sometimes I feel like students don't, they have this fear of asking questions, or maybe they feel like their questions are going to be dumb. So just keep in mind, there's no such thing as that. There's any question is a question, and that's what you should be doing, because this is going to be for you and it's going to affect you the rest of your life. So make sure that you get all your questions answered.
So I'll have to give my top fourth one because my top three have basically been given, which always happens with this question. But one of my best pieces of advice would be to visit campuses, go on a campus tour, because we can show you all the pretty pictures and tell you all the amazing stories. And in the end, you're going to have a gut feeling when you step foot on a college campus, whether this is the right fit for you. And you should listen to that gut feeling. If you're not able to visit the college campus you want to visit, try to visit a college campus similar to it, so maybe similar in size, so you can decide, do I really want a university of 5,000 people, or am I actually looking for one of 40,000 people? And that will help to narrow down your options.
All great advice. I would have to say apply for scholarships. I didn't think that I qualified for scholarships because I didn't have a 4.0 when I was a senior in high school, not realizing that there are many external scholarships that could have given me money just because I had freckles, or just because I'm a male above 6 foot, or because I played the tuba. Also private universities, right? I never applied to private universities, not knowing that they also automatically award merit scholarships, right? So just understand how much potential there is out there in scholarship money.
Yeah, awesome. Great advice. I would say definitely be yourself, right? You're going to be, you are you, there's something special about you that I feel that you should definitely be sharing with, sharing your story, sharing who you are with us. And that's what that's what we want to see. We want to see how you are different how you set yourself apart, and really try to focus in on that.
Well, I think you all did a great job. I loved it, from the practical parts of the process to ways to approach, feelings, thinking, gathering information. I loved this list. And also, pro tip for the students, you also have to check your email once you get to college. So it helps to start practicing that now. Well, we've reached the end of our time together tonight. I first want to thank all of our representatives. You all did an incredible job sharing a snapshot of each of your schools that wasn't just about the academics or the deadlines, but just about the spirit and the character and the experiences of your students. I hope for all of our attendees, whether you're watching live or the recording, that meeting virtually these real life admissions counselors, that they're an incredible resource along with their colleagues to really answer your questions and be that guide. And I hope that you're leaving today thinking you have 6 schools now, maybe more than you started with on your list tonight, to research and check out after today. There's so much more to learn. All right, so for those last final housekeeping notes, when you close your window, there's going to be a very quick 5-question survey. I really promise it is fast. We would appreciate it if you could provide any feedback that you have to share with us. We definitely encourage you to continue to sign up. You still can do that for our final session following this one. So we hope that you'll join us. And also remember, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the session recordings in the coming days at that same website where you register, strivescan.com/WACAC. So thanks again, everybody. We hope you had a wonderful night, learned a lot, and all the best in your college admissions process. Good night, everyone.